Right, and the man who brings us all the juicy details with regards the legislative, or the judicial arm of government is here. Murtala Inusah has joined me. Murtala, good morning.
Good morning, Joshua Kojomensa.
My brother, how are you doing?
By His grace, I'm fine. How about you?
By grace. By
Showing
grace.
on you that you are
Oh,
very,
we are
fine.
managing. We are managing.
Emponono. I know Ghana, we are the better managers of the economy.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Then each individual or all of us, if you don't manage yourself, if you don't manage your own economy, I tell you what, you'll be hot.
You'll be hot.
Yeah, you'll be hot. The weekend was okay. It was okay. I had the opportunity to attend some few funerals and all of that too.
Right.
To persons who are very close to me and all of that. Sometimes it's never easy when you find yourself in situations like that, having to mourn with a colleague, a friend, and a relative. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. But last week, we talked about the mini call to the bar.
Yes.
It was quite exciting. I've seen people congratulate their friends and all of that on social media.
Joshua Kojomensa, I always make the point that if there's one aspect of life that when you have the opportunity to be closer to that profession, sometimes you are filled with a lot of goosebumps and all of that, especially if you have some ambition. If you are, people sit back when you wear the gown, you put on the wig. It's never easy. Yeah. So on Friday, the mini call happened. 123 judges, in fact, new lawyers were called to the bar. In fact, it was an exciting moment where the acting Chief Justice had the opportunity to share some few briefs, some advice with these lawyers. And one thing that he said, among other things, was that do not turn the profession into personal gains alone and all of that. Let's hear from the acting Chief Justice, Justice Paul Parfuboni, on what advice or the advice that he had for these new lawyers.
Not merely ceremonial. It is a covenant between you and the law, between you and society, between you and your conscience that must guide you in every professional action you take. It is to be entrusted with one of the most profound responsibilities in our democratic society. As lawyers, you will advocate for justice, uphold the rule of law, and defend the rights of individuals. Your role is not merely to represent clients, but to be stewards of justice and champions of fairness. Always remember that the law is not just a collection of statutes and precedents. It is a living framework that governs our society. It is your duty to interpret it with integrity and apply it with compassion and emotional intelligence. Each case you handle will have real-world implications, which will impact lives, families, and communities. Your actions will shape the legal landscape and may influence the course of history. Do not be tempted to turn the practice of law into a business for personal gain alone. And let me repeat this. Do not be tempted to turn the practice of law into a business for personal gain alone, only. It is a calling to service. Do not turn justice into a commodity. It is a value which is earned, preserved.
Quite interested.
Yes. So do not turn the profession into the business of personal gain alone. And in fact, that was a call.
Justice.
It was absolutely.
Make sure that justice is manifestly.
But Joshua, immediately after the program was over, I've been speaking to some of these new lawyers about what their position is on the advice given by the acting Chief Justice. Let's hear them.
A very important thing is service to humanity. So, despite the fact that we may all want certain things out of this profession, I think ultimately we shouldn't just be selfish. We should look out to helping other people, and achieving good for the greater people. Yeah.
It's a clarion call, and it's very pertinent and very important that it's not for personal gain. And you can't be part of the profession with a business mindset that your motive is to make that sort of unwarranted monies or profit for work not actually done. But there should be value for money, which means that you get what you have actually worked for, because the profession is full of integrity, it's full of that sort of nobility, and that should be chalked. So it's not for people with a certain mindset that we are going to make some monies for personal gain. That one will change the whole profession into something different.
You should have the interest of the larger society at heart. So yeah, some of us, we are not coming into law practice because of the personal gains that we look forward to getting. Yes, the money is good, but at the end of the day, we are trusting God that we could actually make the kind of impact that we want to see in our society. So that is it for me.
As a lawyer, you must know that whatever you do in favor of your client, not that you employ your client in several ways by trying to, deceive them to get something out of them.
So these are some of the lawyers who are responding to the Chief Justice's call.
And huge congratulations to them.
Absolutely. It's never been easy. It's never been easy. And for them, they think that call is apt. That call is one that you should not be thinking about yourself alone. It's all about society and all of that. But Joshua, a day like this, or a day like Friday, what does it mean to the very person who was called to the bar? Let's hear their reactions.
Today has been amazing. It's a dream come true. The end of a long journey, a difficult journey. I hadn't known that I was going to have this many hurdles, but I'm grateful to God for how far He's brought me, and that finally the dream has been achieved.
I didn't think it would come because the back and forth, the struggles, the rewriting and all, I didn't think it would come, but then it's finally here. And we are grateful to God that it is here.
It hasn't been a smooth journey, so I'm grateful I've been able to come this far.
After a period of hard work and dedication and commitment to studies, at long last, God has been faithful to us, and we have been called to the bar. It's a privilege to be called to the bar, and I'm very happy and very proud.
It's a day that I'm so grateful to God. I'm grateful for whatever He has done for me, because it has not been easy. The journey is so tough, but at least God being so faithful today, I'm also a lawyer, so I'm so grateful.
This day, I just can't find the right words to express how I feel this very day. It's been a journey, and in all things, I just want to thank God for how far He has brought me. This has been a childhood dream, and it has been the dream of my parents. May their souls rest in peace.
Yes, may their souls rest in peace. I've never seen a lawyer in all the calls to the bar that I have attended said, oh, the journey has been very easy, it has been very smooth. Comes a lot of obstacles. And so you hear from them and all of that. But Joshua, in all of this, there's also one aspect of this whole profession that we are talking about, pro bono services.
Right.
Yes, pro bono services. I mean, at some point in time, you need to offer services for free. The fees is not easy. The challenges are not easy. You get the point. But you are allowed to open yourself out, help people who do not have money to pay for legal fees and all of that. And it was a call that was made to every year, every time there is call to the bar, it is repeated. That phrase, offer pro bono services, is repeated and all of that. Again, let's hear from these lawyers what their take on pro bono services are.
Product of pro bono, because a lot of people have invested into my life. I have had people pay my fees. I've had people buy me books. I have had people do me favors that for me I felt I didn't deserve. So if God has really been with me and has honored me and given me the privilege to give back, yes, of course, pro bono will be part of my calling.
I think it's very necessary. I don't think we can do without it because the journey hasn't been singular. I haven't come this far alone. There's been a significant number of people who have invested in me spiritually, financially, emotionally, and in various ways. So there's no way we can do without pro bono services. We'll definitely do it, yes.
Oh, pro bono is also very important. You know, the world or in Ghana, there are some people who are privileged and there are others too who are not privileged. But then both the rich and the poor should have access to legal services. So those who actually need that sort of legal services, whether from the legal aid, and some lawyers also undertake some voluntary services to help the underprivileged who also deserve that legal services. It means that it is important that some undertake pro bono services.
He said we shouldn't turn the professional.
Yes,
Pro bono.
absolutely. Pro bono is also in there. So a lot of them, in fact, all of them, they were unanimous in their views that
If they don't have a choice.
pro bono services. Because you could hear from them, all of them, one way or the other, receive some kind of support or assistance from somewhere. And so it is time for them to replicate that in all of that. Tomorrow, I'll be sharing with you the training for 2-day training for judges, and the magistrate judges, high court, circuit court, and of course the magistrate from the district court and all of that. Tomorrow, we'll bring you that. The closing ceremony, what the Justice Akabuafo, who on behalf of the director of JTI, Justice Amadou Tanko, shared with the gathering, what the Italian ambassador to Ghana also said, and some of the parties. Tomorrow we'll bring that to. But today we expect the case involving Madame Cecilia Dapa,
former sanitation minister.
Absolutely. To be back in court. Patience Boucher and all of that. So let's get the Patience Boucher, Dapa's visuals on absolutely one of the sittings. So that is Madame Cecilia Dapa at one of the court sections at that point in time. The husband is the one also walking out there, as you can see on your screen. So Patience Boucher, Sarah Ajay, and then 5 others are back in court with respect to that criminal trial. So today, before Justice Marie Louise Simmons, we expect that case to come up for a mention of a sort, and then the case would be adjourned further again for more act. But what is clear is that the accused persons, prosecution is still calling witnesses. Madame Cecilia Dapa is facing cross-examination by the accused persons and their lawyers. So we'll be there to bring you more updates in relation to this very case.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely, Murtala.
So from one Dapa to another Dapa. Albert Kandapa, Oliver, absolutely, and Oliver Baka, former. So both of them are back in court again in respect of that defamation case. So you see Dr. Jesus Remsai on your screen. Not that he is in this case anymore. In the early stages of this case, he was the lawyer for Oliver Baka.
And so his appointment
yes, absolutely. So once the state has taken over his lawyer, he has to look for the services of a new lawyer. And now he's engaged the services of Bafo Jehu Bonsu Asia. He's the one leading him now. So that is Albert Kandapa on your screens over there. So that case is before Justice Joseph Eduosu Ajiman. And the status of the case is that lawyers of Albert Kandapa, Oliver Baka are subjecting Albert Kandapa to cross-examination, scrutinize him on his basis for claiming or requesting or asking the court to award damages in the sum of $10 million for defamation. So we'll be in court to see what will become of this very case.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Murtala. And then the final one.
Yes, go for it.
An actor.
Very interesting.
Matters are rising.
Yeah, matters are rising. So it was on Friday that we got the information that Efira, were you a fan of Efira?
Oh, yes, I used to watch Friday
Who
night.
was your favorite character in the Efira series?
I think there was one, was it Kofori's wife?
Is it Nana?
Yeah.
Is it Nana? Is it the one? I think one thing that I remember Nana about is for the heart for patience.
It wasn't the wife. It wasn't Kofori's wife. There was another, Awuni or something? Anyways, yes.
Yeah, one of them also passed on to glory in recent time and
Yes.
all of. Is it Kakari? You have name them. You know the
I've forgotten my
Alabastam,
Inferior days.
Alabastam, and all of that. They were all involved, but we were told that Kofori is involved in some alleged money fraud, $50,000. And he was arrested sometime on Friday and all of that. He's expected to make an appearance at the circuit court at Dansoman this morning. It was on Friday, it was supposed to happen, but we understand that the court did not sit. So today we expect that to happen, and they will be there to bring you updates in relation to that. So that's all we have for you by way of court today.
Murtala, Inusah, thank you so much. Let's have a productive day.